Dharma students, parents, grandparents, teachers of Sunday school, Dharma classes, and moral education. May you all be well and peaceful. Today we are going to do a very important lesson that will help you to be more happy, peaceful, and wiser. The title of the presentation is Life Lessons Three Things. Set of three things. Now, all of us, all of you, want to be happy, want to be peaceful, want to be steady in the mind, not to panic, right? Not to worry or be afraid when certain things happen. So, to be peaceful or to be happy does not mean that you must, have a lot of money or fame or status or power. But there are important things, life lessons that you have to know, understand, and practice in order to be truly peaceful, happy, and your mind to become stronger, right? So we are going to go over this in the PowerPoint, and I will explain briefly the Dharma aspects, right? And if you follow all this, then you will be successful, more peaceful and happy, and also be able to lead your life more wisely and peacefully, right? So let us now launch the PowerPoint. Uh, Now you can see our slide, life lessons, three things, sets of three things. They pertain to values, important Dhamma teachings, right? Ethical points, moral lessons, and so on. Because these are the things, that will help a person to become more peaceful and happy. Today, you find so many young ones faced with problems. All right, you heard of pop stars, right? Singers, actors, actresses, young ones having problems of the mind, even though they are very wealthy, well known, popular, but still not happy and peaceful, and some take their own lives or commit suicide. So, this is a very important lesson for you to follow so that you know what are the things you need to practice or need to train in the mind so that you will not encounter the problems that so many people are facing today, right? So let us go on to the slide. Now, this is another of the cover slides, right? It doesn't matter. We're not going to go over all the values and the moral points. I highlight the important things, life lessons, three things in sets of three. Right? So let us, also you can see the animated thing. This wise teacher is teaching important things from, very, very good books. You can learn life lessons like the holy books or the Buddhist scriptures, right? And books on moral stories, motivation, and so on. So let us go on. Okay, the first set of three things. Three things to admire. These three, if you can practice, it's very, very good. Because later on in life, you will find how important these three things are. So the three things to admire: humility, simplicity, virtue. Now, humility is opposite of pride or ego, right? To be humble, you find that it's a very good thing. Humility is a good moral value. People like persons who are humble, isn't it? If you are proud and egoistic, you will not be liked. So that is the first thing. The other thing is to lead a simple life, right? Nowadays, people, they want a luxurious life. They, work very hard to get very big cars, very big houses, and then want to travel here and there, all on worldly things. But still, in the end, they're not happy, and then they find that they get into problems, financial problems. Right? A simple life can be very peaceful and happy. So simplicity is a good thing. Even the second richest man, I think, Warren Buffett, right? Very, very rich, right? But he leads a very, very simple life, you see. And he donates a lot, you know. Oh, most of the money he donates to the poor. So this is something we admire, lah. But today, many young people admire the wrong things. You know what do they admire? Wow, this singer can sing fantastic song. This dancer can dance what Gangnam style or whatever lah. So they are admiring the wrong things. So you chase after these things, they will not give you the true peace and happiness. Of course, now and then you can watch these things, but they are not the most important thing. And then the third thing is virtue. Virtue, of course, pertains to the moral values, good things. We will look at this afterwards, right? A set of moral values, ethics, right? Good points to practice the character. This pertains to the virtue. So these three things are the things to admire, not the other worldly things. So if you have virtue, you know, you keep your precepts and so on, then you'll be peaceful. You don't do anything wrong, isn't it? You don't break the society's law, or you don't break moral laws or religious laws. Now, then what about the three things to respect? You find today it's a very funny world. People are respecting the wrong things. They respect the pop star idol because the fella has many cars, or they respect the big car, or they respect people with very big cars. This is not the proper thing, right? You find a proper things will be that you will have imbued in your mind that you can carry on until you pass away and next life also. So three things to respect. One will be the holy ones. The holy ones, like in Buddhism, will be for example, the monks and the nuns who are really cultivating well, not the bogus monks, lah, right? The fraud ones. I'm talking about the true ones. There are many, right, in the world. So respect them. Then, according to suttas, if you respect these parents, holy ones, and then the elderly people, then in the future lives also you will be respected. You'll be reborn into noble families, maybe, right? You find that there are people who have mole mawa. They don't respect the parents. They don't respect the grandparents, right? Or the teachers, or the elderly ones. So this is wrong. So three things to respect. The third one is ethics. Ethics means you have the system of moral conduct, right? The rules or the laws that tell you what is right and what is wrong, what to do and what not to do. Quite similar in a way to morality. But this ethics can also cover our everyday life in society, where you have, the rules and regulations or laws of the society, right? Morality also tie up with this, right? So these are the three things you respect. You respect the laws, you respect the rules and regulations to promote peace and harmony. Respect. Some people don't respect. You see what happens in some countries. Wow, they protest until they become violent, and then smash up the public properties. Imagine that. So there's a price to pay. So let us look at the other things. Now we go on to the three things to remember. Some people think, most important three things to remember: my girlfriend, my boyfriend, or maybe the most beautiful dress I have, or the most beautiful place I have visited or toured, lah. No, no, no. The three things to remember: filial piety, gratitude, and integrity. These are the three things to remember and practice. Filial piety, is who you earn, no? Right? Showing great gratitude to the parents who have brought us up so well, right? Without them, you probably would not be around as lucky people now. And gratitude, to be thankful, right, to people who have helped you. One thing is the parents, and then your teachers, your grandparents, and aunties, uncles who have helped you. Important to be grateful. Integrity is like honesty, right? We have a system of moral principles, that we don't cheat, we don't, what we call it, steal, or we don't lie. So we are people of integrity. Then people trust you, right? And then people respect you because you are of integrity, not makan swap one. Today you see, big shops also so many charge for corruption, isn't it? The one maybe many of them have no integrity. It's terrible, isn't it? Uh, so now let us look at the three things to govern. To govern means to take care of, to check properly. Some people think, wow, most important three things to govern. I govern properly all my property lah, all the things in my house lah. I govern properly. Of course, those things also you take care of lah. But three very important things that have karmic effect, right? That can cause you suffering or they can bring you peace and happiness. What are the three things you have to govern, right? Govern means to be in control of lah, to rule over, to check. One, what you think. The thoughts, if the thoughts are bad thoughts, like cruelty, greed, anger, jealousy, hatred, pride, all these bad thoughts will bring dukkha, suffering. So watch out for this. You must check your thoughts. You must have the good thoughts like kindness, right? Metta, loving kindness, and then also to be able to let go of unnecessary burdens. So you'll be stress free. To let go of the worrying thoughts, renunciation, and then speech. We must be careful of this speech. There is a Japanese proverb that says, the tongue may be 3 inch long, but it can kill a man 6 feet tall. Wow, you know what you say. Sometimes you lie and cause another person to suffer. Or you talk bad about a slander. You slander another person. Or you use very harsh words and hurt the feelings or the heart of other people. And then, of course, you have gossip, spread rumors, all the nonsense things, frivolous talk. You have to be careful, govern these things. Because if you don't, then they have bad effects coming later. And then the deeds, of course, the action that you do. Three things you must be careful to check. Deeds, the actions that you do. I think you understand the precepts. Not to kill, not to steal, not to commit sexual misconduct, right? You know this also. So just to remind you, so that it goes into your mind and you will always remember that. Three things to avoid. Now, of course, there are many other things also we should avoid, isn't it? Right? Like drugs, liquor, right? Immoral sex. But here, we have also these three things which can cause you to actually do bad things also. Not got connected also. Deceit. Deceit means dishonesty, cheating other people, lying also. And then one day you get back the bad effects right? Because you deceive people. You cheat people maybe for your own gain. That is actually a wrong action that brings bad karma. Then the other thing is egoism, right? Now, this egoism is pride, self-pride. So egoistic, when a person who is very egoistic, he can actually bully other people. He can give lots of trouble and pain, misery to other people because of his ego. You are not doing what I want. You are stupid. He scolds people like this, right? So egoism must not be in you. Just now we saw the thing that it must be in us. The thing that must be in us is humility, opposite, isn't it? Heedlessness. Heedlessness like carelessness, mindlessness, right? Or maybe even sometimes recklessness. All this in a way connected. So if you are not careful, you are heedless, never think wisely and carefully. You do some of those silly actions, like taking liquor. Just now I told you already. Taking drugs, heedless. And then usually starts off with smoking. A heedless action and never consider the consequences. So these three things are the three things to avoid, right? And Heedlessness very important. You must not have this heedlessness to do foolish things without thinking wisely. Uh, Three things to value. You know, many people say, wow, value. I value my iPad. I value my computer. I value my diamond ring. All the material things. Right? They come and then they are not lasting permanent, and you find that you may lose all those things. But here we are concerned with things, right, that can bring you benefits on a long-term basis and also in the next life, you see. Now, one is time. Don't just simply waste away the time. Time is precious. Once time is lost, it cannot be found again, isn't it? Right? So if we value time, then the next thing is, since it's so precious this time, once it's gone already. So we must know how to make use of the time wisely, isn't it? Like learning Dharma, improving the mind, so that we will be more peaceful and happy, not only in this life until we are old, but also in the next life and future lives. So value time. But many people just waste their time away, doing stupid things. Right? That really has no benefits or that doesn't bring benefits. Things that don't bring benefits, like for example, just lazing around and then smoking away and then just empty chit chat in the outside, maybe mama stalls until 2 a.m. So just wasting the time away. Whereas time is so precious that you can do so many important things, beneficial things like reading or maybe learning Dharma to improve your mind that will bring you the benefits as you go on in life. So time, health is important. Physical health or body health and mind health. All right? Healthy mind, healthy body. Because of time constraint, I cannot go and tell you all the various ways where you have to take in order to ensure that your mind can be healthy and your body also can be more healthy. This one, of course, you can read up or you learn from the teachers, from your education. Take care of the health. You value the health. You may have all the wealth and you may have all the power, but then if you don't have health, you get cancer, you get stroke, and then you are lying on bedridden. Useless, isn't it? So health is well actually. And then family. Ah, family, if the family is a peaceful one, right, and you can contribute to the happiness and the peacefulness of the family, that is something good. Because when the family is strong, peaceful, united, then the society also becomes strong, isn't it? So uh, loving family, united family is a good thing. Today, you have many family problems because maybe the parents do not have sufficient Dharma. So if you learn Dharma now, next time when you become mothers, fathers, then you know how to have a happy family. So value family. Next, let's look at three things to promote. Ah, you think to promote the sale of this iPad or the sale of what they call it Game Boy not those to promote the things that you have to pay attention and to tell people also how important it is. One is diligence. Diligence is industry. Being diligent means being hardworking, and actually you cannot get success in whatever thing that you are doing if you are not diligent. Be it study or next time when you are working or maybe when you practice the Dharma, you must be diligent in doing it. Then you achieve the success that will bring you the peace and happiness. So diligence. The next thing is kindness. That is very important. People think that getting all the A's is the most important thing. It's not. Kindness is even more important, right? What is more important? To be a very kind person, right? So helpful, well liked by others, or to be a person who gets all the A's but very unkind, selfish, proud, right? Kaki kok kaki, that type. It's useless, isn't it? So kindness important and patience, of course, right? You can't really, be successful in any task that you do if you are not patient. Things don't just come overnight, like 3 minute Maggie noodle. No, you have to patiently strive on. You heard of Benjamin Franklin, the scientist, try more than 800 times to get the electric bulb working. Every time also failed, but he was patient until after hundreds of times of patiently trying, he finally succeeded. As I mentioned this before, right? So these are the three things you have to follow. Then what are the three things to love? Some people say, I love beautiful clothes lah. I love all those fantastic dances lah. No, the three things to love: honesty, right? Honesty is the best policy. Remember? So if you love this honesty and you cultivate it, you are an honest person. Next time, you find people really trust you, they like you, you're a responsible person, so you will be on the way to success, right? And of course, this is a very good moral point. It's a Dharma practice, no, to be honest, and then to be pure. Pure in the mind, in the speech, and in the body. Think good thoughts, speak good words, and then do all the good actions. That is purity. It doesn't mean that always you wear all the very clean clothes lah, put all the cosmetics lah, and all those external things. Oh, I'm very pure. But inside can be rotten. You are unkind. You are a liar, or you are irresponsible. All this, that is no purity, and you think lousy thoughts or bad thoughts. So you know what is purity, good things of the mind, speech, and body. Then truth. Of course, you know that is very important. A lot of problems come because people are lying, cheating and lying, not telling the truth. So remember, you must always love truth and practice it. Not just theory, studying the books, no. That you keep your precept of telling truthful things. So these are the three things to learn. Three things to practice. Not practice your badminton game, all these are those, of course, are worldly things you do lah. Practice your piano. But these three are the very important things that will bring you the peace and happiness, as I say, this life until you pass away. And then reborn also. Wow, you'll be reborn in the heavens, or reborn as lucky human beings, and not being reborn in hell, or hungry ghosts, or what they call the kuya, beta, or being born as animals. When you practice these three things, morality, I think you know this now, right? Like for Buddhists, you keep the precepts. Charity, dana, helping people, serving people. And then the third one, which is the one that gives the greatest benefit, if you are able to go into meditation. Then you find the mind develops and wisdom comes. You see? So morality, charity, meditation. Sometimes meditation is a translation from the Pali word bhavana. Bhavana are better to be translated as mental development. And meditation is one of it only. Mental development, all right? To study, reflect on the Dhamma, to listen to the Dhamma, right? And then to contemplate, to ponder over, to discuss. All this actually is to train the mind, to develop the mind. And meditation is one of the crucial things in bhavana, mental development. So when you practice these three things very well, we'll be reborn, right? In the heavens of lucky human beings, and you will be peaceful and happy. This life itself also, right? Three things to develop. You must develop a heart of generosity. This is dana also, right? Very, very generous. Wherever you can, you want to help others. You cannot help in terms of money. There are so many ways. You can do charity or dana, isn't it? Right? Even poor people, they need some clothes. You might have some old clothes or some things that you actually are just keeping away. You can give away, generous, right? Or you do things, you're generous, and then you give people the food, right? Or the cakes or whatever. So you open your heart. You open your heart. And of course, very important is this mindfulness, right? To be aware, to know what you are doing. Today, there are too many zombies walking around, right? They don't know. Put up the notices so they don't see, they walk through, And then they will ask you, hey, forms out already. Notices there, but they have eyes, but see not. Right? So being very alert and mindful of whatever is happening around us, whatever is taking place in the mind, you know. So then you find when you train your mindfulness, wow, your mind becomes so strong. You will be very strong in your studies also. You can remember better also. Right? You have a good memory, all many benefits. And of course, from the Dharma point of view, right mindfulness, you practice that, that can actually work you on the way to enlightenment, contentment, all right? Puas hati lah. Some people are never contented, never satisfied, always want more and more and more. So how to be peaceful? How to be happy? You get this already happy for some time, after that you want to get another thing. Just like phones, mobile phone, iPhone 5, iPhone, my friend has iPhone 7, or don't know what now lah. So they're never contented, and then cause the parents a headache also. Three things you know very well. We must conquer is greed, hatred, delusion. This one we have talked on many times. So one of the most important things in Dharma teaching, right? You find these three things bring you all the suffering, bring us all the suffering of dukkha, greed, attachment, covetousness, right? Wanting this, wanting that. That is tamsin, tansin. And then the other one is hatred. And connected with it is the anger, being hateful, being angry, being jealous, right? Full of ill will. All these weaken the mind and will bring you suffering. And then delusion, connected with the ignorance, not knowing what is the true thing to do, what are the good things to do, what is right, what is wrong, and then doing foolish things, right? And then having the ego there. So this is delusion, gong tai tai, they call it in Hokkien, bu chi also. So these are the very important things. Of course, today I don't have the time to tell you all the methods. I have done postings a lot on this, right? How to overcome greed, how to overcome anger, like overcoming anger, hatred by metta bhavana, one of the ways. Delusion, you must learn more Dhamma, understand, practice, then you become wiser. So opposite of delusion is wisdom. You are wise. Three things to cultivate. To cultivate you cultivate metta, right? To improve on your metta. You practice meditation on loving kindness. That is one way. And likewise also, there is also a practice of meditation on compassion, or what we call karuna. And then, of course, these three things are very important. If you have these to the highest level, you are enlightened already. Your metta is 100%, your compassion 100%, your wisdom 100%, then you are a Buddha already. So the wisdom, of course, is the most challenging. You have to learn the Dhamma, practice it, discuss it, think about it, reflect it, contemplate, then slowly wisdom arising the mind. You know what are the things that are important and those foolish things that you have to avoid. So these are the three things to cultivate. So now, you see, we have come to the end very fast. Today I was speaking quite fast. So anyway, if you have questions, you can maybe Facebook message me or WhatsApp message me. Then I can answer, because this is a virtual lesson, not a real classroom lesson that you can ask. That's the disadvantage of this, but we can't help it now in view of the COVID-19. So, but anyway, there are ways if you in to ask. As I say, you can write an email. You punch in my name in the internet. You can see the various websites, the contact. Facebook also, if you punch in my name, then you get a Facebook page already, and then you can send a message. Right? You say, I have this question, brother. Oh, can you please answer this? Right? WhatsApp also. So many ways actually, but not many people have questions to ask. They're more interested in all those usual things, hearing songs, uh, seeing the dances or those fantastic magic show. It's not that you can't do those things. You can also relaxing all this. But the sad thing is they spend too much time on only these things, and they don't have time for the very important things like reading good books, or even learning the Dharma and asking questions. You see, very few. Even the classroom also, very few ask questions. You know what the Buddha said in what they call the middle length discourses, Majjhima Nikaya. You see, why is it that some people are born, right, very, very stupid, whereas others are born very, very intelligent, wise, And Buddha in that discourse or in that teaching said that some are born, very, very unintelligent, stupid, right? Others are born very intelligent, wise, all this. Due to this, the ones that like to question uh, pertaining to Dharma things, right? They ask questions, clarify their doubts, right? They want explanation to think about. Then their minds grow and grow in maturity and wisdom, isn't it? Because they ask to clarify. So today we have gone over all these things. If you have questions, of course you must bring out these questions. If you don't want to ask me, of course there are sources in the internet where you can check, right? To listen to a good talk also. If you have a good standard of the Dharma or the language lah. You have Chinese, you have English also. So that is one way lah, right? So just now I already told you the objective that we are talking about the important things, right? We have to bear in mind and practice and remember. And these are the values, the values of what we call the life lessons with their values. So we must actually practice these values and pay attention to the live lessons just now I discussed with you. You can actually go over next time when I upload it onto YouTube, right? And you can print out also nowadays so easy, and then this will remind us, of the live lessons that we have to learn and practice. When you do this, as time goes on, your wisdom arises. Wisdom comes out in the mind. And when wisdom comes out in the mind, you become more happy. You become more peaceful. Then you can meet with the challenges of the world. Sometimes trouble, hardship, problems, right? Pain. These things will happen in our lives. This is a fact. Dukkha is the first noble truth, right? So it's a fact. But if we train the mind, right? Develop the mind in terms of Dharma learning, practice, and realization, then when these so-called unpleasant things happen to us, our minds can face those things and deal with those things better, isn't it? Otherwise, you find out, wow, certain things happen that people cannot cope because they don't have the Dharma. They don't have the Dharma learning and practice and realization. Wow, girlfriend runs away, cannot bear with it, commit suicide. Wow, never get so many A's. Wow, commit suicide. So you find they do all those things which are not wise. Why? Because they do not have these life lessons and Dharma inculcated in them since young. And not only for the younger generation, even the old ones, right? The adults also, they have their problems, right? Sometimes I get, phone calls and so on among the adults, they have their problems, depression and so on. Why? Because they do not see the Dharma, right? So you see that this is a very important lesson, right? Where we can think about the values, the life lessons. So let us remind ourselves in this conclusion, in life there are values we need to practice. And just now we went over so many of them in sets of three, isn't it? Three things to admire, three things to respect, three things to cultivate. All those three things, wow, a lot of things. Of course, to find us slowly, gradually, you practice more and more of them. Why you have to do this? They will be the things that will lead you to real happiness, peace, and bliss. Real happiness, peace, and bliss. Because they will bring out the wisdom, right? And when wisdom comes, then you find peace can come. Because you know, you understand things well already. You know how to handle them, how to cope with them, right? So this is what I have to convey in this very important lesson called life lessons, three things, right? Actually, in the end, you find that much more than three things. It's a set of three things, right? So I thank you, boys and girls and Dharma students, even adults. This one is applicable at all levels, right? The young, the middle-aged, teenagers, and the old. Sometimes the young people, even at the primary stage, wow, the mind is so good they can see these things. Maybe previous life they have the affinity. So that's why this is for really for all. Even though I dedicate this to the Dharma students and also the Dharma teachers and so on. So I thank all of you, right, the Dharma students, the parents and grandparents, and the teachers for taking time to view this presentation and to listen to the Dharma discussion, right? So you have spent useful time, meritorious. It is very, very meritorious to listen to the Dharma. So let us now say sadhu three times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And may all be well, peaceful, and happy.